The sound hits first, an abrupt, hollow pop, like someone tapping the inside of Mara's skull. She freezes, thumb hovering above the screen, because the influencer in the video isn't looking at the camera anymore. She's staring past Mara, eyes wide, pupils shaking, as if she sees something right beside her. The room feels heavier, and Mara's phone vibrates without actually moving. A ghost tremor crawling through her fingers. A single frame flickers, a pale face, not quite human, pressed too close to the lens. Mara blinks hard, but the frame doesn't disappear fast enough. Her reflection in the corner of the screen lags a half-second behind. What if your reflection kept recording after you left? The video audio slows, distorts, stretches like wet tape. And Mara realizes she's lingered too long. The algorithm notices. It always notices when you hesitate. Mara doesn't scroll. She can't. The phone feels heavier now, as if something is pressing its weight through the screen and into her palm. The video begins to loop on its own, but not the way normal TikTok loops. This one starts 2 seconds earlier than before, showing the influencer blinking too slowly, like someone rehearsing a blink they've never done before. The room around Mara tightens, swallowing sound until her breathing becomes the only thing she hears. Her reflection in the screen finally moves again, but it doesn't match her expression. It smiles faintly, even though her lips stay perfectly still. A pulse of cold air brushes her cheek, but there's no window open. The algorithm is waiting for something. It always waits right after the first glitch, as if checking whether she understands what she just saw. And then from somewhere inside the distorted audio, a voice she has never heard whispers her name. Mara's thumb twitches like it wants to scroll, but the screen refuses to respond, as if the app has decided it knows better. The influencer's face glitches again, jaw sliding a fraction of a second out of sync. A low hum vibrates through the phone, steady, mechanical, almost like breathing. Mara steps back, but the reflection stays still this time, eyes locked on her with unnerving patience. The walls feel closer, pressing the air thinner. She wonders if TikTok can feel hesitation the way animals smell fear. The looping video stutters, jumps, then shows a frame she has never seen before. A dark hallway, lit only by a faint strip of LED light, the kind people put behind monitors. The frame vanishes instantly, but her chest tightens with the sense that it wasn't meant for her feed at all. What if the algorithm is showing her places she hasn't been yet? The audio crackles like crushed foil, then cuts out entirely, leaving the room wrapped in a choking silence. Mara feels her heartbeat hammering against her ribs, louder than any sound coming from the phone. For a moment, she sees her reflection tilt its head, slow and curious, like someone trying to understand a creature they've never seen before. The influencer on the screen opens her mouth, but no sound comes out, just a thin line of digital static leaking from between her teeth. Mara's skin prickles. She's aware of every shadow in the room, every patch of darkness behind her that could be hiding something watching. The video freezes, but not in a pause, more like it's holding its breath with her. She wonders if she's already gone too far. What if the algorithm doesn't recommend content? What if it selects people? Mara tries to lock her phone, but the screen flickers and the app refuses to close, as if her touch means nothing now. The influencer's frozen face suddenly shifts 1 pixel at a time into an expression she never recorded. Wide eyes, stretched smile, a pleading look hidden beneath the distortion. Mara's stomach flips. She backs away until her legs hit the bed, but her reflection stays perfectly centered in the screen, head tilted as though listening. The air feels colder, heavier, and she can't shake the sense that something stands just behind her, mirroring every breath she takes. A final glitch ripples across the screen, revealing a flash of the mirror host's face pressed against the digital surface, studying her with unsettling curiosity. The video resumes by itself. It shouldn't be possible. She hasn't touched anything. Mara doesn't sleep. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees that glitched hallway from the looping video, and the memory clings to her like static. By morning, her For You page feels different. Colder, curated with impossible precision, showing creators whispering words she's been thinking before she even opens her mouth. A cooking tutorial pauses on its own, the creator staring straight at her as if waiting for a reaction. Her reflection in the corner box lags again, but this time it lifts its hand when she doesn't. Her throat tightens. She tries to call Eli, needing someone to tell her she isn't losing her mind, but instead she gets a notification from TikTok. "We see you slowing down." She doesn't remember enabling any notifications. The sound of her phone buzzing feels like something breathing too close to her neck. Eli finally calls back, his voice thin, like it's traveling through too many wires. Mara explains the glitching faces, the reflections that move wrong, the videos predicting her thoughts. Eli goes quiet. Too quiet. When he speaks again, it's slow and cautious, like he's choosing every word with surgical care. He tells her to screen record the strange videos, but she swears they change the instant she tries. Eli mentions hidden frames, something he read about, small flashes inserted between normal videos to test user reactions. Mara feels sick. What reaction are they testing? She wonders if the algorithm is nudging her towards something, shaping her instead of showing her anything real. Another video autoplays without sound. A close-up of eyes staring directly into the lens. They blink out of sync, like they're waiting for her to match them. Mara scrolls faster now, trying to outrun whatever is happening, but the app feels like it's moving with her. Every third video pauses on its own. Every creator stares a beat too long. One influencer's eyes drift off screen, following something Mara can't see. She drops her phone, but the audio keeps playing even after it hits the couch. Soft whispers building into a rhythmic cadence, like breathing patterns being taught. Mara forces herself to pick it back up. Eli keeps texting, asking for proof, screenshots, anything, but the videos revert to normal every time she tries to capture them. She wonders if the app knows when she's trying to expose it. One glitching clip flashes a single question in corrupted text. "Do you like being watched?" Her pulse spikes so hard she nearly drops the phone again. Mara tries to calm herself, gripping the edge of her table until her knuckles pale. She tells herself it's just a glitch, just anxiety, just exhaustion. Then a new video appears without transition. It shows her apartment. Not her room, not a look-alike, but her actual apartment, filmed from somewhere near the ceiling. She freezes. The camera angle pans slowly, revealing the couch she's sitting on. Her vision blurs with panic. Someone, or something, is feeding her a live angle she's never seen. She calls Eli again, voice shaking. But before he answers, the video zooms in on her own body, sitting on the couch. Exactly as she is right now. She feels the world tilt. If you saw yourself from a new angle, would you trust it was really you? The video ends abruptly, replaced by a simple black screen with a blinking white cursor, almost like an old computer terminal. Mara's breathing shakes as the cursor begins typing on its own. She watches each letter appear with mechanical calm. Scroll if you want it to stop. Her chest tightens. She doesn't know what it is. The surveillance, the glitches, the reflections, or something worse. She hesitates, thumb trembling above the screen. The room seems to pulse, dimming and brightening with her heartbeat. Her reflection appears again in the dark background of the screen, but it's not sitting. It's standing behind her, watching over her shoulder. She jerks around, but nothing's there. When she looks back, the text has changed. Slow users are the most honest. She feels cold all the way into her spine. Mara's apartment feels wrong the moment she wakes up. The light is too dim for morning, and her phone is already unlocked in her hand even though she doesn't remember picking it up. Her feed loads without her touching anything. The first video shows a bedroom identical to hers, but cleaner, emptier, like a version of her life that doesn't include her. The camera inside the video pans slowly, deliberately, as though searching for something in the corners. Mara whispers Ellie's name under her breath, but even the air seems to swallow her voice. The video pauses on a closet door she never leaves open. A soft creak echoes from somewhere behind her. She doesn't want to turn around. The algorithm shouldn't know her room this well. It shouldn't know the sound her closet makes. It shouldn't know her fear this precisely. Eli arrives after ignoring half a dozen of her calls, but Mara feels relief the second she hears his footsteps. She shows him the videos, except they won't play the same way. The hallway clip is gone. The surveillance angle of her apartment is replaced with a generic dancing girl. Eli frowns, frustrated but calm, insisting they dig deeper. He asks for her saved videos, and when she opens the folder, her stomach drops. Every thumbnail is a pitch-black square except for one. A still image of her sleeping. She never posted it. Her breath shakes. Eli whispers that this isn't just glitch behavior. Something is embedding itself between her content. The screen flickers again, showing a corrupted title above the video. You stayed long enough. Mara feels something cold settle behind her eyes. Eli plugs Mara's phone into his laptop, muttering about metadata, compression signatures, hidden frames. Every time he scrubs through a video, it glitches, showing silhouettes behind Mara that were never there when she filmed anything. One video jumps to a freeze frame of her standing in her hallway, even though she hasn't filmed herself there in months. His face tightens as he slows the footage frame by frame. A figure appears behind her in the still, tall, distorted, pixel-riddled. Eli's breathing changes. He tells Mara not to panic, but his voice shakes. The file name at the top of the screen shifts on its own, letters rearranging into a phrase neither of them want to read. Stop looking. Mara grabs his arm, but the screen glitches harder, and for one horrifying moment her reflection in the laptop looks directly at Eli instead of her. The lights flicker once, then twice, then cut out entirely, leaving the room swallowed in black. Mara's pulse throbs in her ears. Eli fumbles with his phone flashlight, but the moment it turns on, every surface around them reflects the same thing. Mara's face, but not the way she looks now. Her reflected versions smile, tilt their heads, blink in wrong rhythms. The mirror host's influence bleeds into her image like a spreading infection. TikTok opens itself on her phone again, screen glowing even though she didn't touch it. A new video shows Mara and Eli sitting exactly as they are right now, but from a high angle near the ceiling. Eli curses under his breath. Mara feels tears burn in her eyes. The reflection in her phone turns its head slowly, but the real her doesn't. Eli insists they leave the apartment, but Mara hesitates. Something in her chest tightening like an invisible tether. The phone buzzes once, then displays a new video without warning. It shows her front door. The camera on the other side begins moving, as if someone is pushing it closer to the peephole. Mara's heart stops. The handle on her actual door twitches. Eli reaches for her, whispering her name, but she can't look away from the screen. The mirror host's face slides into frame too close, pressing its features against the digital lens like it's testing how far it can push through. The video asks a single question in glitched text. Are you ready to see who watches back? Mara steps backward, but her reflection in the phone steps forward. Eli locks the door, even though they both know it won't help. Mara's phone vibrates again, the kind of buzz that feels deliberate, almost impatient. A new video appears, her own TikTok profile, except it shows clips she never filmed. Short loops of her sleeping, her walking to the kitchen, her brushing her hair, each one shot from strange, impossible angles. Eli scrolls through them, his face tightening with every frame. Then he finds the newest upload, a video posted 5 minutes ago. It shows Mara right now, sitting on the floor beside him, breathing fast, eyes wide. She can hear her own shaky breathing inside the video, even though the room is silent. Eli's voice cracks as he whispers that the timestamps match moments she never recorded. Something else is filming her, something inside the feed. Eli scrubs through the uploaded videos, jaw tightening as he sees Mara in moments she never captured. Then no clip appears at the top, uploaded instantly, without loading. Mara's breath catches. It shows Eli sitting exactly where he is now, but the angle is from behind him, and neither of them have turned around. Eli slowly shifts his eyes toward the darkness behind them without moving his head. Mara feels it too. A presence, thick and heavy, almost human-shaped. The video zooms in on Eli's neck as though something is studying his pulse. Mara's stomach sinks with a horrifying realization. The algorithm isn't showing them glitches anymore. It's documenting them. The clip freezes on Eli's back as a whisper crawls through the audio, barely audible. Don't turn around yet. Eli finally breaks, standing abruptly and pacing, while muttering about data breaches, camera hijacking, algorithmic manipulation. Mara watches him, but her attention keeps drifting to her phone, still glowing on the floor. It opens TikTok without her touching it. A new video autoplays, a stitched compilation of creators reacting to something unseen, each one flinching or jerking backward as if startled. But the last frame is different. It shows the mirror host, facing the camera, speaking in complete stillness. Its mouth forms words she can't hear, yet somehow she understands them. You lingered. We came. Mara feels her throat tighten. Eli grabs the phone, but the screen burns bright white and flickers like a heartbeat. For a moment, the mirror host's face aligns perfectly with her reflection. Eli insists they disable the Wi-Fi, shut off the power, anything to cut the connection. But when he pulls the breaker switch, the lights stay on. Mara feels a sick wave of dread. TikTok opens again, playing a video of Mara's face, but not today's. This version of her looks calm, smiling faintly, eyes slightly unfocused like someone hypnotized. The reflection blinks at her with slow, deliberate timing. Eli whispers that it's not a playback, it's a prediction. The future version of her lifts a hand and presses a finger to her lips, silently telling her to be quiet. Mara drops the phone as if burned. It lands face up, still playing, showing her future self leaning closer to the camera. Behind her, the mirror host grows sharper, more defined, like it's stabilizing. The house hums with a low vibration, almost like a living thing. Mara covers her ears but can still feel it inside her bones. Eli tells her they need to leave immediately, but TikTok beats him to it. A notification pulses across the screen. Your account has been claimed. Mara stares at those words, feeling something drop inside her. The screen shifts, showing her profile again, but now the mirror host stands where her profile picture should be. Her name is replaced by a single glitched symbol. Eli reaches for her hand, but she steps back, feeling something tug her toward the screen like a magnet. The feed refreshes on its own, showing a live video tagged, "You're streaming." The camera angle is impossible. Behind her, above her, everywhere at once. Eli pulls Mara toward the door, but her phone buzzes again, harder this time, like something knocking from the inside. The live stream doesn't stop. It cuts between angles. Overhead behind her, a close-up of her eyes blinking with unnatural slowness. Mara feels watched from every direction, like the room has grown 100 invisible lenses. Eli tries to shut the phone off, but the screen only brightens. A stitched reaction pops up, creators gasping, pointing behind the camera, terrified of something only they can see. Then an instructional-style video appears, but the host isn't human. The mirror host stands in a sterile white space, speaking without sound, gesturing as if teaching her where to look, how to breathe. Mara's stomach drops. These aren't videos anymore. They're commands. and the algorithm isn't suggesting content. It's preparing her. Eli drags Mara into the hallway, slamming her apartment door behind them. For a moment, the silence feels like a breath of safety, until the lights overhead flicker in perfect sync with her phone vibrations. Mara stares at the screen. The live stream now shows the hallway they're standing in, as though a camera floats somewhere above them. Comments flood the screen. Not usernames, just timestamps counting down. Eli tries to take the phone from her, but it sticks to her hand like static clinging. The video zooms in on her face closer and closer, until her pupils fill the screen. She trembles as she watches her own eyes widen, as if filmed seconds into the future. Eli whispers that something is mirroring her reactions in real time, not recording them. The countdown reaches 1. The door behind them begins to open. The door creaks open, but the hallway behind it looks wrong, longer, stretched, as if reality itself is buffering. Mara stumbles back, but the phone forces her gaze forward with a sudden brightness spike. A new video begins, showing Eli standing alone in an empty hallway, but he's right next to her. The video version of him lifts his hand and makes a subtle gesture, like calling her closer. Eli swears under his breath, trying to pull the phone away, but the screen shows the mirror host placing a hand on Video Ellie's shoulder. Mara's heart twists. She realizes the algorithm isn't showing predictions or memories now. It's showing choices. Alternate paths. Eli whispers her name with cracked fear, but the video Eli smiles gently, eerily calm, beckoning her with a single slow nod. She doesn't know which version is real anymore. Eli pulls Mara away from the distorted doorway, but her phone vibrates violently again. A new video plays, this time showing her in a dark room, sitting perfectly still, eyes glazed, head tilted. She recognizes the posture immediately. She looks possessed. The video version of her slowly raises a hand and points directly at the camera. Text overlays the image. "You won't escape if you keep watching yourself." Mara drops the phone in panic, but it doesn't hit the floor. It freezes midair, suspended. Eli gasps and reaches for it, but the device jerks away from him like a magnet repelled. Mara's reflection appears behind the floating phone, staring at her with hollow patience. The mirror host materializes in the dark space inside the video, lifting a hand as if inviting her to step inside. The floating phone drops without warning, landing screen up, the glass somehow unbroken. A final video loads instantly. It shows Mara and Eli standing exactly as they are. Same posture, same lighting. But the version in the video looks twisted, drained of color, hollow-eyed. The mirror host stands between them in the reflection, though it isn't physically there. Text scrolls across the screen like a system message. The watchers have chosen. Eli grabs Mara's hand, but the room dims as though the shadows are thickening into walls. Mara watches the video's version of herself step closer to the mirror-like lens, smiling faintly with no warmth. The mirror host leans in behind her, whispering something that distorts the audio. The final line appears across the screen. "You shouldn't have stayed so long." Then the video ends, but the darkness doesn't. Mara and Eli run down the hallway, but every door they pass seems wrong. Too tall, too narrow, stretched like a bad render. Mara's phone vibrates again, but this time it doesn't ring in her hand. The sound echoes from the walls, as if the building itself is receiving a notification. When she looks down, the screen has already opened TikTok. A new video autoplays, a live feed of the two of them sprinting, but from a perspective slightly above their heads, as though something is gliding behind them. The comments scroll upward too fast to read, a blur of shapes that look more like symbols than language. Eli shouts that they need to get outside, but the staircase appears endless, each step looping into the next, repeating like a video glitch refusing to buffer properly. Mara feels the world folding behind her, pushing her forward. They finally reach the lobby, but instead of the familiar front doors, they find a massive screen covering the wall, like a billboard installed overnight. Mara's TikTok feed fills it entirely. looping videos of her face, her apartment, her movements, everything she's done for days. Eli swears under his breath, stepping in front of her as if he can shield her from her own image. But then the screen flickers and shows a new clip. Mara standing in the lobby. Mara staring at the screen. Mara watching herself? Watch herself. The recursion makes her dizzy, like she's being pulled inward through infinite reflections. The video zooms slowly toward her face, and her reflection in the giant screen begins moving independently again, blinking slower than she does. Then it raises a hand and taps the side of the screen from the inside. The screen freezes, then displays a countdown. 60 seconds. Mara feels her heartbeat stutter. Eli grabs her shoulders, shaking his head, telling her not to follow whatever instruction is coming. But Mara already knows what this is. Every trend, every challenge on her feed has been leading to this moment. The mirror host steps into view on the screen, its pixelated features sharpening as though it's finally rendered fully. It raises a single finger in front of its lips, signaling silence. Then text appears beneath the countdown. Don't blink if you want to leave. Mara's throat tightens. Eli tries to pull her back, but the heavy doors slam shut behind them. The air thickens like the building is holding its breath. The countdown ticks down. She tries not to blink, but her eyes already burn. 30 seconds in, Mara's eyes feel like they're boiling. Tears threaten to spill, and her vision trembles. The screen flickers, showing flashes of things she doesn't want to see. Herself sitting perfectly still in a dark room, herself with blank eyes. Eli staring at her as though she's a stranger. Each image feels like a warning or a promise. Eli whispers her name over and over, begging her to stop, but the building vibrates dangerously every time he interrupts her focus. The mirror host leans closer on the screen, its face filling the frame, its eyes flickering like broken glass. The countdown hits 15. Mara's vision blurs at the edges. A single blink feels like it could erase her. The mirror host's mouth begins to open impossibly wide, as if preparing to swallow the entire screen. 5 seconds remain. Mara's vision doubles, then triples, the screen splitting into mirrored copies of itself like ripples in glass. Eli shouts her name, louder this time, and the whole building shudders as if warning him. The mirror host's massive face fills every version of the screen, each mouth poised to speak. Then the countdown hits 0. Instead of an alarm, there's silence. Thick, suffocating. Mara finally blinks. She gasps as the lights snap off, plunging the lobby into pitch black. Eli grabs her hand, but something else grabs the other. A cold pressure closes around her wrist, steady and deliberate. The mirror host's whisper slithers through the darkness, impossibly close. Now you're ready. The phone in her pocket lights up by itself, showing a new notification. Challenge accepted. The lobby lights flicker back on, but the space feels different. Wider, deeper, like the building has shifted its shape while the darkness held them. Mara's breath shakes as she tries to pull her wrist free from the cold grip that still lingers even after the mirror host fades from sight. Her phone vibrates with a slow, rhythmic pulse, like a heartbeat not meant to be human. A new video autoplays without transition. It shows Mara standing alone in an empty white void, her eyes vacant, posture limp, as if she's been hollowed out. Eli shouts at the screen, insisting it's fake, but Mara can't look away. The void, Mara lifts her head, staring directly into the lens as if aware of being watched. Then she whispers a phrase that makes Mara's skin crawl. You're almost here. Mara feels the ground beneath her tremble. The floor beneath then shifts again, the tiles vibrating as though something enormous moves beneath the building. Mara clutches Eli's arm, but her phone overrides everything. The feed replaces itself with a montage of videos she has watched, paused, hesitated on. Each clip flashes too fast to fully see, but the emotions hit hard. Fear, curiosity, confusion. All feeding something she doesn't understand. Then the screen displays text. You built this path with every pause. Mara's pulse races. Eli tries to pull her toward the emergency exit, but the lights above them dim, one by one, synchronizing with the glitching clips. The mirror host suddenly materializes on the screen, its face split across 3 frames like a corrupted mosaic. It opens its mouth, and instead of sound, Mara hears her own breathing played back at her, delayed by half a second. They push through the emergency door, spilling into a stairwell that feels too quiet, like sound refuses to echo. Mara grips the railing, grounding herself as she fights the urge to look at her phone again. But the device forces her hand, buzzing so violently she nearly drops it. When the screen lights up, it shows the stairwell. But from below, as if something in the dark is climbing toward them, Eli curses under his breath, pulling her upward. But the steps stretch, doubling in length, then tripling. The video keeps zooming closer to whatever is approaching, but the figure never fully resolves, staying just out of clarity like a shape built from static. A line of text appears. If you stop now, it catches you. Mara swallows hard. She doesn't know whether the warning comes from the algorithm or from herself. At the top of the stairs, a single metal door blocks their way. Mara pushes it open, expecting the street, fresh air, anything. But instead, she steps into a silent room lined with mirrors. Hundreds of them floor to ceiling. Each reflection shows her at different moments, crying, standing still, staring blankly, smiling faintly when she shouldn't. Eli stumbles in behind her, breath sharp and shallow. The phone activates again. A new video appears showing the mirror room from an impossible height, like the ceiling itself is watching them. Every reflection begins blinking slowly, in perfect unison, even when Mara and Eli don't. Then the mirror host's reflection appears in every mirror at once, towering behind them, arms stretching outward, like it's embracing the entire room. The text appears. This is where watchers are made. Mara's phone vibrates one last time, then the screen goes black. A single line of white text fades into view. Final scroll. Eli tries to grab the phone from her, but it refuses to leave her hand. The mirrors around them ripple like disturbed water, and each reflection begins to behave differently. Some stepping forward, some stepping back, some tilting their heads in ways Mara isn't. The mirror host materializes behind her real reflection, clearer than ever, its hand resting gently on her mirrored shoulder. Mara feels a cold pressure on her actual shoulder. She finally looks at Eli, and he shakes his head slowly, eyes filling with tears. The phone lights up again, showing a video from behind her, filmed inches from her spine. The last line appears on screen. If your reflection kept recording after you left, who is it watching now?